Hi there, welcome to Two Birds. I'm Fiona, this is Ralphie, and today we're sharing a 60-minute Vinyasa to Yin practice. It includes a 30-minute slow heat building flow followed by a nourishing Yin practice. And for this class, you may wish to have a block or something similar or a couple of folded blankets. And if you are enjoying the classes and you'd like to support me creating and posting each week, I'm on Patreon. All the details are in the description below. I really hope you enjoy this practice. Thank you for joining us. Namaste. And begin your practice in a comfortable shape, laying down on your back. Take a moment to stretch out long, take up some space, and then find your own shape that feels easeful and grounded for you. You may wish to bend and knock your knees in together, or take the knees wide, soles of your feet together, allowing your eyes to close or soften. Relax your jaw and your eyes, softening the muscles around the sides of your neck and your collarbones. And feel the support beneath you, welcoming the full weight of your body. And if you're feeling restless and it's difficult to settle, just offer yourself this time to just let go, be soft, and focus on your breath instead. Uniting together now with our breath. Take a long, slow, deep breath in and gently release it. Again, breathing gradually in, slowly out. Let's hold the next breath in at the top, filling up belly, ribs, chest. Pause a moment. Then exhale slow, holding your breath out at the end of your exhale. Continue on for a few more rounds of breath, staying present to all sides of your breath, the expansion, the contraction, the space between your breath. And our ability to acknowledge and dwell in the space really strengthens our ability to stay present when we're in the moving part of the breath. Taking 2 more cycles of breath. Take a final moment here to set your intention to move kindly, tread lightly in your practice today. Gently releasing from your posture, gather your knees in toward your chest and draw some circles through your low back spine. And then take a relaxed version of Happy Baby Pose. So either holding outer edges of your feet or just take your knees wide, draw your knees toward your armpits. And if a bit of motion and rhythm feel good, rock side to side. Or take a few stationary breaths here. And then release your arms down alongside your body. Take your legs up toward the ceiling with a soft bend in your knees. Rotate your feet in circles. And circle back. Point and flex your toes. And then re-bend your knees. Take your feet to the floor. Tee out your arms. And take a simple twist to your right with your knees stacked. Lean and rest your knees to your right. Relax the palms of your hands. Together breathe in. And then allow the weight of your legs to settle a little heavier. Rock your knees back through center and take your supine twist to your left. Breathe in deeply and exhale long. And then bring the knees back. You can cross at your ankles here, hold your feet, take a few rock and rolls through the length of your spine, or just slide out to one side. We'll make our way forward into a tabletop pose. Setting your palms under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Breathe in together, arch your spine, soften your belly, gaze up. Breathing out, cat pose, dome your spine. And just continue moving back and forth through your spinal waves. Feel free to add on if there's something else you're needing. And then make your way back through center. Walk your hands forward a step, tuck your toes, pressing back to downward facing dog. Moving freely in your body, bike your heels. You can move and sway, pedal and stretch. Finding stillness in your down dog, steady gaze. Send your gaze forward and stepping forward to the top of your space for a standing forward fold. Catch opposite elbows, softly bend your knees. Take a sway through your torso side to side. And land back through center, release your arms. Roll your chin to your chest and roll up to stand. Head comes up last. Meeting in Tadasana, mountain pose. Breathing in together and breathing out. On your inhale now, raise your arms overhead. Take your right hand to your left wrist. Side bend over to your right. On your inhale, sway back through center. Switch your hands. Side bend your left. Breathe your way back to center. Separate your arms shoulder width apart overhead. And slowly now rise onto your toes, lift your heels and balance. On an exhale, send your arms forward, keep your heels lifted, bend your knees and lower to a squat, just finding your own range and height for comfort. Knees pointing forward. On your inhale, keep your heels lifting, rise slow, stand, arms overhead. And again, lower, balancing on your toes, squat down. Land your fingers to the floor now. Keep your heels lifting, straighten your legs. And on your exhale, land your heels and fold toward your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen your chest forward. And then step to plank pose. Pausing here, take a few breaths. Pushing the floor away, hollowing your belly, firming the leg muscles. And then child's pose. Settle your knees to the floor, buttocks to your heels. On your next breath in, rise and ripple forward with the cat back. Your spine rounded, all fours, and then just slowly unravel. As you exhale, softly lower to your belly. Low cobra on your inhale. And exhale, melt your chest back down. Tuck your toes under here and either support yourself with your knees down or with straight legs. Press back to plank pose. And shift into side plank on your right. Pivot your heels to the right, 2 feet down, and swim your left arm forward. Right side waist lifting. And then take your left arm toward the sky. Then circle the back of your left hand to the small of your back like a little chicken wing. Pause and balance. And then reverse your left arm. Return to plank. And downward facing dog. 3 steady breaths. Eyes forward. End of your exhale, step lightly to the top of your mat. Open and fold with your breath. Rise and stretch to stand. And lower your hands to prayer. Inhale, raise your arms overhead. Left hand to your right wrist. Side bend to your left. Inhale, center, switch your hands. Side bend to your right. Return to center, separate your arms, shoulder width apart, rise onto your toes and balance. And then arms forward, heels stay lifted, bend your knees and lower into your squat. Inhale, rise slow to stand, heels lifted, arms overhead. And once more lower and balancing on your toes, squat down. Fingertips to the floor now, keep your heels lifting, straighten your legs. Exhale, land your heels and fold toward your legs. Heart forward, breathing in. Step back, plank pose and pause for a few breaths. Pressing your spine a little higher than your shoulder blades. Eyes gently forward. Exhale, child's pose, settle your knees, buttocks to your heels. Next breath in, rise, ripple forward, all fours with the cat back. And slowly unravel and lower to your belly. Low cobra on your inhale, loop the shoulders back. Exhale, melt your chest back down. Tuck your toes under, knees or no knees. Press back to your strong plank. Taking side plank on your left, pivot your heels to the left. As you're ready, right arm sweeps forward. Left side waist lifting and engaged. Take your right arm up toward the ceiling. And then circle the back of your right hand to the small of your back. Hold in your balance. Take a full cycle of breath. And then slowly unwind your right arm. Return to plank. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Eyes forward on the new breath. Bend the knees and step lightly to the top of your mat. Lengthen your spine. Inhale. Fold with your exhale. Come to stand. Sweep the arms skywards. Lower your hands to prayer. Just taking a moment to pause, feeling the quality of your breath, focusing your attention. Moving through a Surya Namaskar B variation. On your inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana, 3 breaths, just to find your depth, weight in your heels. Join your palms, lower your hands, breathe in deeply. Take chair twist to your right, 3 breaths to revolve here, pressing your palms, drawing a straight line, elbow to elbow, opening your chairs. Return to chair pose, inhale, and forward fold over your legs. Stay with me here, inhale, halfway lift, then take an open twist to your left. Keep your right hand low, bend your right knee, open your left arm toward the ceiling. And work towards straightening your left leg. One more breath in, and forward fold, Uttanasana. Lengthen your chest forward, and step back to plank. Greet your shape just with one breath, and then lower to your belly. Inhale, low cobra, feed your chest through your arms, and press back, downward facing dog. On your inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale, core lunge in the air, knee to nose. Breathe your right leg straight back. Bend your knee and open through the front of your right hip. Stay and take a full cycle of breath. Inhale, straighten and square your hips, and then step your right foot to your hands, warrior 1. Ground your right heel, rise slow with your inhale, and then steady your posture from the ground up. So firm your heels heavy, engage your left thigh straight without locking it. Lengthen the sides of your waist through the reach of your arms. One more breath in. Exhale, lean your torso forward, fly your arms back. On your inhale, rise upright, straighten your right leg as you go. And then into chair pose, step forward, sweep your arms back. Inhale, reach and rise to stand, arms overhead. Lower your hands to prayer, Tadasana. Left side, inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana, 3 breaths. All sides of the neck nice and long, breathing smooth. Join the palms. Lower your hands, take another breath in, fill up. Chair twist to your left, 3 breaths to revolve. Return to chair. Forward fold. Halfway lift. And twist to your right. Left fingertips to the floor. Bend your left knee. Right hand high. One more breath in. And forward fold. Breathing in. Lift up halfway. And step to plank. Hold strong. Breathe in. Chaturanga, low pusher. Inhale your back bend, upward dog or cobra. Downward facing dog, long breath out. Inhale, raise your left leg, down dog splits. Core lunge, curl in. Inhale, down dog splits with a twist. Bend your left knee open through the hip. Inhale, reach your left leg straight back and step to warrior one, left foot to your hands. Rise with your inhale and settle into your steady breath as we pause. One more breath in, ground your back heel. Exhale, hinge forward, sweep your arms back. Inhale, rise upright, straighten your left leg. On your exhale, step forward to chair, arms fly back. Inhale, reach and rise to stand, straighten your legs. Lower your hands to prayer, Tadasana. We'll keep flowing, adding on. Inhale, chair pose just for a beat. Exhale, chair twist to your right. Return to chair, breathing in. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Twist open to your left. And refold over your legs. Halfway lift, heart forward. Step back through your Vinyasa, high push-up, low push-up, back bend of your choice, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your right leg, slow motion core lunge, hug in, down dog splits with a twist, bend open through the front of your right hip. Straighten and square your right leg, step to warrior one. Inhale, raise your arms overhead, one breath. Exhale, hinge forward, arms fly back. Adding on, reach just your left arm forward now. On your inhale, rise, reverse your warrior. Reach your right arm up, overhead. And on your exhale, land in warrior two. Might like to adjust your feet, find a longer stride, deep lunge. And then just see into your spine. Steady gaze. Inhale, straighten your right leg, pivot your right toes toward the long edge of your mat, interlace your hands behind your back. Take a smooth breath in, knuckles down, chest high. And then take a few mindful breaths, forward fold between your wide legs, Prasarita, Padottanasana. Release your fingertips to the floor, lift your chest forward. On an exhale, side lunge to your right. So you're welcome to stay a little bit more elevated, supported by your hands or hands to prayer. Or come a little lower, Skandasana, open your arms for a twist, right hand low, left hand high. Take a breath in. And sweep, side lunge to your left, straighten your right leg. Just find a shape that offers you space. One more breath in. Exhale, side angle to the front of your mat, Parshvakonasana. So set your feet into a long stride, heavy your heels, and either sweep your left arm up or overhead. Your right arm can rest on your forearm or fingertips to the floor. Just try not to crowd your chest or hold too deep as we pause here. Steady breath. Let your breath guide you in. On your exhale, pyramid pose, fingertips to the floor. Step your left foot in, shortening your stance. Breathing in, come to the fingertips or hands to your shins, long spine, and fold with your out breath, lingering here. Breathing smoothly in and slowly out. 3 more cycles of breath. Inhale, lengthen your heart forward, bend your front knee and step up top of the mat. Open and fold with your breath. Come to stand. Lower your hands to prayer. Inhale, one breath, chair pose. Exhale, chair twist to your left. Chair on your inhale. Fold and release. Halfway lift. Twist open to your right. Exhale, refold over your legs. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. And step back through your Vinyasa, plank. A back bend. And we'll all meet up in downward facing dog. Raise your left leg high on your inhale. Knee to nose, rock your shoulders over your wrists. Down dog splits with a twist. Bend your left knee, open your hip, knee nice and high. Send your left leg straight back. Step to warrior one. Raise your arms overhead. Hinge forward, arms fly back. Reach just your right arm forward. Inhale, rise, reverse your warrior, reach your left arm high. And then warrior two. Take a few moments here, lengthen your stride. Perhaps exploring a deeper lunge. Light squeeze to your right buttocks. Inhale, straighten your left leg, pivot your left toes toward the long edge of your mat, hands behind your back, and knot the fingers. Take a smooth breath in, curl your heart up. Then take a few unhurried breaths to forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. Just notice if you have space to lift your shoulder heads away from the mat. Gently release your fingertips to the floor. Inhale, chest forward. And then side lunge to your left. Hands can come to prayer or add a twist. Take a breath in. And then side lunge to your right. Straighten your left leg. One more breath in. And then side angle to your left. Arrange your feet. Then gently open your chest to your right. Hug your left hip in toward your midline, lengthening your tailbone toward your back heel. Releasing for pyramid pose, fingertips to the floor, short new stance. Breathing in, find length. Fold with your out-breath, holding here, settle in. Inhale, lift your heart forward and step back to plank pose this time. Lower through your Vinyasa, downward facing dog. Eyes forward on your inhale. We're going to bend the knees and take a small hop to the middle of the mat, landing in a toe squat. If your knees are sensitive, please take a comfortable cross-legged seat as an alternative. We're moving into a side bend and a twist. Option here is to balance on your toes in the toe squat, upright your spine, hands to prayer. And everyone now breathe your arms overhead. Side bend over to your left hand down to the floor, right arm overhead to your left. Little bit of a balance if you're on your toes. Next inhale, two arms overhead. Exhale and twist to your right. Any twist that suits your body here, evolving to the right. Option from toe squat is to take prayer twist. Final option from toe squat, if you're feeling warm and prepared, take flight in side crow here. Hands to the floor to your right. Wedge your right knee to your upper right arm. Looking forward, leaning forward, pick up the feet. Wherever you're at, release. Return to center. Stay on your toes. If you're in your toe squat, inhale, arms overhead. Side bend over to your right. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, twist to your left in your shape. Easy twist, prayer twist. Or if it's accessible to launch into side crow for you, experiment with that now. We'll all release. I'm going to move into a forward fold. If you're cross-legged, just walk your hands forward and bow in. From toe squat, raise your hips, straighten your legs, and take gorilla arms, sliding the palms of your hands under the soles of your feet. Inhale, quarter lift, and forward fold. And gently ease your way out of your forward fold. We're all going to meet up in downward facing dog, slowing down now. Take a few moments to pause, calm the rhythm of your breath. And as you're ready, lower your knees and rest back into a child's pose. Connecting now to a feeling of non-doing. Letting this shape start to invoke a feeling of surrender. Each posture we practice has an energetic effect. And then the combination of poses in a sequence and intention. So in the first half of this class, we've actively cycled through more warming, strengthening, twisting postures. And now as we move into the yin portion of the class, we focus on postures that energetically invite more introspection with a focus on re-lengthening your spine. And gently now sitting up and bringing your legs around in front of you. Take a moment to gather your props and any additional layers you may wish to have. And we'll move into our first yin posture, Dragonfly Pose, a wide straddle. And if you know your hamstrings or your inner thighs, your adductors are particularly tight and they block you generally in forward folds, you may wish to move to a wall space. Practice the posture with your legs up the wall and then taking them into a wide V shape. It's a great alternative which allows you to really enjoy the shape as it was intended. If you're sitting upright with me, you can prop a folded blanket under your sitting bones to encourage your pelvis to tip forward and then take your legs comfortably wide. Deliberately heavy your legs, let them go soggy, soften your feet and your toes. So you're letting go of any muscular effort. If you haven't already, just invite your head to roll forward, rest your hands to the mat. You can offer yourself some support here, building some support in front of you with your props so you can soften and relax. Following your next breath in and your next breath out. Observing the space between your breath. And last few breaths. And just as you're ready, take your time to release. Make your way back upright. Hold the back of your knees and bring the legs forward. And take a few moments to point, flex your toes, let the back of your knees breathe, your spine. And we'll transition now onto our bellies for Sphinx or Seal Pose. Extending your legs out behind you, coming to your belly, and start with your elbows on the floor, shoulder distance apart and a little in front of your shoulders. And in this Sphinx variation, allow your belly to drape toward the floor. So you might need to consciously relax your buttocks and your legs. You feel your heels roll out to the side. Feel free to let your head roam a little. Find an appropriate position. You can drop your head a little or keep your head in line with the curvature of your spine. And once you're comfortable, simply remain still, breathing slowly in and slowly out. Follow your breath. And if you notice you may have more room to expand in this stretch, you may wish to slide your hands a little more forward, dialing your hands out slightly, lifting the elbows for seal pose. So in these postures, we're deliberately targeting the deeper connective tissues, and really to access this level of stretch, the surrounding muscles need to be relaxed. So if your muscles are active, they'll tend to absorb most of the tension in the stretch. So taking you final few breaths here to really relax on purpose, inviting your jaw and mouth to soften, letting your mind merge with the idea of letting go. And try and sense an equanimity with all the sensations you can feel. And then just slowly releasing. Make a pillow with your hands. Rest your head for a few moments in crocodile pose. So you're going to separate your legs a comfortable distance apart, turning your big toes out slightly, and then let the whole back body relax. Directing your breath in and out of your low back spine. And when you're ready, making your way into child's pose, taking your knees wide, big toes to touch, inviting your forehead to rest and press into the mat, resting into gravity, keeping your breath low and full around your belly and your low back. And from here, we'll make our way into thread the needle pose. If you prefer, you can rise up onto all fours for this twist. If your knees need some release from this deep flexion, or stay with your knees wide, buttocks toward your heels. Left arm stays forward toward the top of your space. Lift up a little way and thread your right arm under your left. Resting down onto your outer right shoulder, right side cheek. And you may wish to elevate the floor to support your head with a pillow or a blanket there. Just simply settle in, notice how your breath responds, encouraging yourself to melt into the shape. If you'd like more sensation, deeper rotation, option to take your left palm into your right palm, lacing your fingers, gradually leaning your torso away from your face. So arms towards straight. Again, only go as far as your breath is comfortable and you can really sink and settle into the shape. Last minute here. And just slowly now unravel from your twist, rebounding here in melting heart pose or puppy pose, bringing your hips over your knees, walk your hands forward, hands wide, resting your head toward the floor. Just here for a few breaths, lengthening through the sides of your waist, the length of your spine. And then walking your hands back in, either under your shoulders or slip back into a wide child's pose. And taking your twist to your right. You're entering into your twist to your right with care for how you place yourself. You're seeking just mild sensation, breathable space, feeling of heaviness. An option here to deepen your twist, perhaps joining the palms, lacing your fingers, revolving, leaning back a little more into your twist. Last minute here. And slow motion now, unwinding, and we'll make our way down onto our backs. Take a few breaths on your back with your knees bent, knees knocking, aligning your spine into a straight line. With a longer breath out, just relax the weight of your body into the support of the floor. Make contact with your breath. And from here, we'll move into a supported bridge pose. And here you can use a block if you have one, or some folded blankets for support under your buttocks. Place your feet parallel, about hips width apart or a little wider, all 10 toes pointing forward. And just begin with your arms resting alongside your body. Once you're elevated, shuffle your shoulder blades in toward one another so there's a sense of your upper back moving in toward your chest. And you've got that gentle drape through your spine, opening the space of your chest. And your options here, if you have space to grow, you might like to explore taking your arms overhead in a loose cactus shape, or even hold opposite elbows overhead. And just settling in, steady breathe, slowly breathing in from your belly, carry your breath all the way up to your chest, and slowly breathing out. And final few breaths here. You might like to straighten one leg or both legs. Opening into the front of your hips. If you took one leg, just stretching out through the other side. And then preparing to release. In the knees, press your feet to lift your buttocks. Remove your support and just really slowly lower down. Pausing here, inviting your low back to soften and decompress. If it feels helpful, you might like to take the feet wide and wipe the knees left and right, or simply pause, angle your knees in and rest. Completing practice here with a golden thread breathing meditation before resting in Shavasana. Just finding your own comfortable grounded shape here. Knees can be knocked, or take the knees wide, soles of the feet together, or simply stretch out into Shavasana. In this practice, we breathe in through the nose and out through slightly parted lips. Once you're comfortable and steady in your shape, begin by parting your lips just a small amount, just enough so a slither of paper could fit between your lips. And then relax the inside of your mouth and your jaw completely. Close your eyes. Wherever you're at in your breathing cycle, empty your lungs. Inhale together through your nose. And exhale out, slightly parted lips. Breathing in and breathing out. Just continue at your own pace. Because that gap's so small between the lips, your exhales will naturally be a little longer. The invitation for this practice now is to visualize a fine golden thread spinning out and away on the breath, into the air around you for as long as you breathe, and your mind will carry it. So just following your breath in, and then visualizing a golden thread spiraling out on the tide of your exhale. As you're ready, returning to your natural breath. And if you haven't already, making your way into Shavasana, laying down, resting. Finding an anchor for your attention. You might like to stay with the golden thread imagery, or simply the feeling tone, texture of your breath, or sounds or sensations. Just encourage your attention to become single pointed. If your mind wanders, returning to the vibrancy of each moment, coming back to the object of your attention. As you focus, sense your whole being welcoming a feeling of relaxation and ease. Practicing nourishing rest in silence now. Be back to guide you back. And gently, softly drifting your awareness back. Breathe in a little bit deeper. And then start to wriggle, wake your toes, your fingers. Bending your knees, taking your feet to the floor. Rolling out to your right side. Just pause. Notice how you feel at the end of your practice.
Hope you're feeling mellow and peaceful, and you can take it with you as you move into the rest of your day. Gently rolling up, coming up to sit. Have a beautiful week ahead, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.